What if the question of male and female were not just a matter of terrestrial biology? What if it came from our soul, or perhaps even our essence? Today, we are going to focus on information received through channeling on the following subject. What if your gender was your choice of incarnation? Let's start with essence. Essence is the part of us that comes from the source and is intact. As for the type of human incarnation on Earth, the essence will choose different paths to express multiple souls. So now, I'm going to read you that I received. Returning to the type of a man or experience. You will all experience and visit and even encounter a soul from your essence. At least, your soul polarity will consist of attributes that bring you back to earth to gender issues. Issues such as strength and gentleness in particular, which you polarize as a particular earthly gender. However, as a soul, you may very well end up in a body with a polarity different from that of your soul. Man and woman were created as the eight, the infinite. It is important to remember that your earthly experience is dualistic and that, to date, everything works in pairs. Very often, neutrality occurs when the essence experienced in the same world, male and female, or male polarity and female polarity tunes into balance. On Earth, having only two physical polarities to choose from. This can generate conflict, but few of you experience this type of conflict. More often than not, you form an idea of yourself and your body that is not the polarity with which you were born. Be careful that such thoughts are truly your own and not a psychic creation from someone other than yourself who has made a decision for you. Only your intuition can tell the difference between what is true and what is false. Do you feel discomfort or a sudden blockage in your chest when you think you are right and yet it all feels wrong? However, if you believe you are right despite this sudden chest blockage, or if you clearly feel an energetic dissonance, take time to seriously examine this feeling before committing the irreparable, transitioning your body. It is important to think for yourself and weigh the pros and cons before regretting any decision that could hinder you in the rest of your experience on Earth. In order to distinguish between questions related to yourself and those related to something else, it is necessary to engage in introspection or ask yourself whether your questions are intrinsic or extrinsic. What we see in this table. I will summarize it briefly for you. Intrinsic questioning can be observed through a feeling, a profound disconnect within yourself and with that you see in the mirror. If this questioning is extrinsic, meaning that it comes from outside yourself, it will come from other people who may or may not have your best interest at heart. This questioning can be the source of conditioning. So let's take a quick look at how to break free from conditioning. Conditioning is information that does not originate from your own thoughts, but which, when repeated over and over again, can become part of your thinking. This is more about persuasion than deprivation. How can we break free from it? Stop the external noise, center yourself, and see if your inner self agrees with this conditioning. Some beings may agree with this conditioning and consider the experience through a sex change. If the conditioning is seen as foreign, then it's better not to change sex. In conclusion, you can very well have a male polarity that is very close to the masculine characteristic here on Earth, but in a female body, and respect that female body. Finally, here we have a part that we could say is unique to us, namely respect for your body. And if you don't respect your body, what does that hide? We can ask ourselves that question. I leave you now and wish you all the best.